Hello, you guys, and welcome back. Is this the last Friday of the month, or is this the first episode of the month?
Oh,
I think
that's
we're
a
at a
good.
first episode of the month moment right now.
No, okay. Now
Oh,
we probably should know. So let me just double
okay.
check.
Well, we can
Uh,
scratch this then. I think this is the first of the month episode.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking, and I forgot to plug in my computer, so that's where
Oh,
we're
okay.
at right now.
All right, perfect. Well, we're gonna redo this.
No, we don't have to redo it. Okay. What day is it? Today is the 10th, and this comes out last of the month.
Oh,
Last.
okay.
This comes out the
Happy
29th.
last of the month.
Now I can't find my Zoom. Like, where are you? Oh,
Hello.
there you go. Found you. Okay, I have too many screens open. That's like my chronic thing. It's like Joel will be like, "Close out your screens," and I'll have like literally
Oh.
50.
Yeah, literally the other day I was um exporting a podcast episode to upload it and all that sort of stuff. And my computer sounds as if it is on its last leg. And James is like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm
Mhm.
just exporting things." And he's like, "Close all your tabs, blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Dude, there's one tab open. Like I don't know. Like I've had my computer since like sophomore year of college. So
Mhm.
it's given me some life, but
Mhm.
it better hang on just a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's like my other computer I kept at home. I've had that for 6, 7 years. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna bring that because it just would like randomly shut down and be like have this weird blue screen. I don't even know what it meant.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, I'm gonna bring this one because that would in the middle of podcasting, that's not good.
Yeah. I need
It's crash.
reliability.
Yes, reliability. Yeah. Oh, I have an update about. Remember how I was trying? I think we talked about this. The a period cup instead of using tampons,
Oh,
pads.
yes, yes.
So I got. I can't remember the brand. It was a disc.
I've seen
Because
those.
my sister got it in my head. She's like, I saw their people were using period cups, and it was like the suction was like pulling their uterus like inside out, and I was like, Jesus Christ, So what do? I don't get a period cup. I get Doesn't that
Is
sound
that real?
terrifying? I old wives' tales. I don't know. I know, terrifying,
That is
terrifying.
horrific.
I know. So what do? I get a period disc. Okay.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I don't know if my uterus is just not shaped properly, but like you have to like put it behind the wall. I was like, this is too hard. The amount of times I freaking leaked through, like being out and about in the world, I was like, this is not good. I can't cough or sneeze and like constantly. Like, what's the point of having this in there?
Oh my
Um,
God.
I just think it's the disc was more less susceptible to like having a bad side effect with the suctions. That's why I went with it.
Oh,
But I just think it just was not the correct shape for me. And I really tried to
yeah.
use it like I don't know how many times. And I'm like, okay, $35 down the drain, whatever. Like it is
Yeah.
what it is. I switched to an actual period cup. Just got like a generic one, a silicone food grade off Amazon. Um, Best decision ever. I am never buying tampons ever again. Never,
So
never.
your uterus isn't getting sucked out.
I don't think it's that hard of a suction.
Perfect. Yeah, like so I've heard about the discs, and
Mhm.
one girl on TikTok was like talking all about her experience, and somebody was like, it keeps leaking. And she's like, well, if you go to the bathroom or if you sit down, it is supposed to move. So like it is supposed to leak, I guess, if you are sitting down, because like if you're sitting on the toilet, it's supposed to come out a little bit. So if you sit down,
Ah.
the disc
Mm-mm.
might be not your vibe because a lot of people sit down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the the cup now. I I am okay, so we have a septic tank, so I am just getting used to literally taking my tampons out and throwing them in the trash. That
What?
makes me want to vomit. We've
No,
talked
no, no,
about
no, no.
this.
Oh, I forgot. You're the idiot that puts their tampons down the toilet.
Excuse me, not anymore. And I grew up on city plumbing, so like it was never an issue.
That's so wild, but go on.
I mean, girl, like my mom didn't know you weren't supposed to. So where am I supposed to learn these things? But it's disgusting.
Mhm.
Like I literally feel like a feral animal, like pulling it out of me, putting it in the trash. I'm like, I want to barf. This is
Mhm.
gross. So, do you find as a fellow not tampon flusher that it is less
Mhm.
gross? What is the vibes? Because I feel that was also might gross me out, but I'm willing to try.
Empty it out in the shower. Easiest thing possible.
Oh,
And the one I got has a larger one and a smaller one, so like obviously
ah,
different flows of your period. So easy. Like, and then I
oh.
forgot I forgot to empty it out, and I had the big one in. I'm like, oh, we're good. Got a shower, emptied it out, rinsed it out. It's super easy.
So, do you only have to empty it like once a day?
Yeah, it should last like 8 to 12 hours or something, which is like
Oh,
perfect. That's like a
shit.
work. I know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And so now the other question is, you say you washed it in the shower. Do you only have to like boil it in between periods?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
I boiled it to sanitize it in the beginning,
Yeah.
so I would just rather do that, and then yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
boil it today and be done.
Lovely. Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting. All right.
Hmm.
I might, you know what? I'm being swayed a little bit because it's absolutely disgusting. You want to know what happened one time? I dropped a tampon by accident. It fell in the toilet. And
Been there,
then
done that.
James is in the bathroom and he goes, "You better not fucking flush that." And he would not leave the bathroom until I took it out. So I used like the toilet bowl cleaner to get it out because I wasn't touching it because I had peed. I was like,
I well,
oh,
pea sterile.
bitch, not putting my hand in a
I know,
toilet that I peed
I
in
know.
and now it has my period blood and it has my tampons. And I'm like, can I just fucking flush it? So, and he didn't let me. I was like, this is not fun. So maybe I will try it out because I could vibe with just like emptying it in
Yeah,
the shower. That seems
yeah,
easy.
so easy. I was like, and the only thing was like a little bit tough, just getting used to like, because you have to like fold
Yeah.
it to put it in, But
Mm.
it was so I'm like, I'm never gonna have to buy freaking tampons ever again. And when
Oh,
you're traveling to other countries like Italy, they have I think they only have the cardboard ones. So nope.
yeah.
I would rather silicone than cardboard. Painful.
Yeah, or like you literally start your period and you're like, fuck, we have no tampons or we have two tampons and like
Hmm.
this is the worst. All right, I'm gonna try it out, I think.
Yeah.
That's gonna be added to the list because and sometimes tampons fucking hurt.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
ch- inopportune times of pulling them out and you're like, oh, this one's definitely full. And you pull it out, and you're like, fuck, was it full? It had like a hint of red.
You're like, I think I just like gave myself like a rash down there trying to pull that shit out dry.
Red bird.
Oh my God. I'm
Uh,
dead. So I love that for you. I love
mhm.
that. And
Yeah.
I will try it. Yeah. Okay. Here
Like,
we
keep us
go.
updated. Keep us updated.
We're in a new era, okay?
If this podcast was ever not for men, it has never been not for men this much until now.
Yeah, but you know what? If my man's doesn't want me to be flushing the tampons down the toilet, then he's gonna have to listen to me bitch about it.
Mm, mm,
Because
truth.
I would do it if he didn't tell me. And then we would have to deal with that
Oh,
later and it could be bad. So,
yeah.
but it's gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Quick side note. I'm having remember we had like lip what did I lip plump by like chili burn? Remember
oh,
that?
yes. Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
were on, like round two of like lip plump via Denver non-humidity. Like it is
Oh,
so dry. I swear I just put stuff on. Like my skin is just like look how red they look from here. They look
yeah,
red.
they do look red.
They're suffering. Like it is dry as a motherfucking desert out here.
Yeah. I was gonna say it is a desert, but it's not. You're kind of near deserts, I guess. Arizona,
Yeah, it's like
close.
it's
Yeah, I guess.
landlocked. Yeah.
Landlocked. Yeah. No, what I did really like about when we went to Vegas and I
Hmm.
we went to Arizona as well, and I would love to go to Colorado. I loved how dry it was because I
Hmm.
hate humidity. My hair
Same.
gets crazy. I get like
Same.
cranky and uncomfortable. But I guess if you're there for like a long period of time, you are really feeling like the effects of it just drying you out. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, kind of getting used. I just need to put more on, like, chapstick,
Yeah.
better chapstick, something like real juicy. It's gonna lock in that moisture, you know. What was the other thing? Oh, so I got a facial on Monday,
Mm.
and fantastic. It was fantastic. And of course, like it's really cool. Like the only facials that I've ever gotten are where it's like a small boutique and you go in and it's like, have you
Yeah.
gotten a massage before?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're in a room like
Mm-hmm.
this and it's like one table, one bed or whatever, just you and that person. So this one was like the equivalence of like going to the hair salon where there's like a bunch of tables like
Oh,
where you would,
yeah.
like for a hair salon, and then you're like kind of like laying by other people, but I'm like, it's the same thing as like getting your hair cut. Like I didn't mind it really.
Yeah.
But they use only like natural organic like brands, and they don't use like a bunch of hard chemicals, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that. But the girl, her name was Brie, which is funny. We were just talking and talking and talking and talking because I don't know how we even got onto this, but somehow we got on the topic of like skincare. I was asking her questions because
Yeah.
the last two estheticians I had, I would say the last one more than the one before that. It was like when I would ask questions, it was very, and this kind of goes into today a little bit, but it was very heavy on, well, I can't speak on that because we only have this product and this is the product I
Oh.
only know. And that product, my sister is very big into skincare. She was like, I've never heard of that before. Like, never
Huh.
heard of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was very chemical, like heavy chemical, heavy chemical. And like, me, natural, trying to like
Yeah.
heal
Yeah.
inside out. I was like, I don't know. So every time I went to her, I just got like this judgy vibes. Like, I can't use something more natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I haven't found a new one at home yet. So I'm talking to this girl and I'm asking her like, "What do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And she was like, um, you're I can tell you're very into your skin. You do a lot of stuff like red light. I can tell you gua sha. So side note, if you guys don't think gua shaing works, the esthetician said I can tell you gua sha. I'm like, that is really cool. Just because like where you typically hold
Yeah.
water,
Water.
she said you're not holding it there. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But she said she has a lot of clients that come in and they're like, what else can I do to fix this, fix that? But they're smoking, they're drinking, she's like, they don't eat a vegetable ever. And a lot of this stuff is with your gut. What leaks out of your skin, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
things that are going, wrong that you're not taking care of. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you have estrogen dominance, it's going to show up. Like I get a little bit of extra breakouts around my chin that I'm working on, like through working on my gut. But she just made such a good, comparison with saying that, like, you can do everything possible, but like it comes down to like what you're feeding yourself, what kind of other harsh chemicals, whether it's like air fresheners, like the Glade air fresheners, people like
Ugh.
everyone's mom used, and stuff like that. Like that stuff adds up. So just a really
Oh,
good reminder.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to. If you really want good skin, it comes from your gut first, and like
Mm-hmm.
the stuff you have around your house and what cleaning products you're using.
Yeah. No, I hate any like air fresheners or like car fresheners, whatever. They literally,
Mhm.
2 minutes into being in somebody's house or in a car or whatever,
Mhm.
my throat is like flaring up and I
Yep,
just feel like shit.
I
So,
get like a headache fast.
oh my God, yeah. And James
Hmm.
is like, oh, you're being dramatic. And I'm like, bitch, I feel like I'm gonna die. I was like, this is so bad. I can't
Hmm.
stand it. And so just thinking about if you're living in that like 24/7 and you're like
Hmm.
having your skin is just like breaking out a lot and you're
Hmm.
just constantly feeling like kind of off. Because like if I'm going to somebody's house and it's just like a really like gross ass candle and it's like not like gross and like it's not the smell's not my favorite, but just like it's a Bath and Body Works equivalent candle.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's
Like
like
that gross
unicorn
shit.
fart.
Yeah, I'm like I'm actually going to die if I stay in here much longer. I don't know how you're
Yeah.
living in this. Like I just don't.
No, yeah, I think it's just what people are used to, like even my
Yeah.
sister uses different cleaners that I don't use, like Dawn, like I don't use anything like bleach spray. I mean, we do use bleach, but like it's just by itself. But like we
Yeah.
or switching to like a lot of vinegar and lemon and stuff like that. But I'm
Yeah.
just like super conscious of like what I'm cleaning with because again, like the biggest organ in your body on your body is your skin. You know, you're
Yeah.
absorbing things whether you realize it or not. Even my sister was asking me about like because I told her that her breakouts, she was breaking out a lot, and like they like go in during the appointment and like take stuff
Oh,
out.
yeah, it
Oh, it
hurts so
was I
bad.
was I was crying. I'm like, I'm crying, but it's okay. I can do it. Like I was just like, get it out. But I don't have a lot. It's mostly in my nose.
Right.
And my sister was asking me, like, well, what is that? I'm like, well, that's estrogen. Like you have extra estrogen in your body, and that's what's happening. And she's like, well, how do I fix that? And that's like a liver detox thing. And I think this
Yep.
is where lines can get blurred because like thinking of myself 5 years ago, I would really talk about like you don't need another cleanse, you don't need
Yeah.
this. But like I believe now there's like a time and place for things. Like you don't need a cleanse to lose weight, but we
Right.
can use things helping our liver be able to get stuff out. Like estrogen comes out of your poop. So if you're not
Yep.
having good poops, good full poops, poops,
Boots.
boots too. It's you're probably gonna have stuff showing in your
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
but
like totally there, it's coming from two different camps
yeah.
because that, I
Right,
mean,
right.
even now, but like back in the day, it was more like a fat loss cleanse, a 21-day
Yes.
cleanse, and
Yeah.
detox, and blah, blah, blah. And it really was just to lose weight quickly. You weren't really losing fat, you're just losing a lot of water weight and you're not eating a lot.
Right.
But when you're coming from the camp of, I'm trying to heal something, I'm trying to reset, we're trying to come at this with a different approach because I'm seeing a lot of acne or I'm having a lot of migraines. I'm noticing things that are not so typical, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, I think, but a lot of people, especially like a couple of years ago, it was just really on
Rampant.
brand, yeah,
Yeah.
to like do like a fat loss cleanse or like the lemon
Mhm.
cayenne pepper cleanse that like
Mhm.
Yolanda would do from like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's like,
Uh,
bitch, what are you doing? Like, if anything,
right.
all of that like lemon juice is just like taking the enamel off of your teeth.
And I was talking to uh, one of Alyssa, who we're actually going to be interviewing next week. Yeah, next week.
Hmm.
Um, and I was asking them about an issue one of the people in my membership was having with like feeling full with drinking water. And, we were just going back and forth talking about this issue. And it's kind of like everyone has like a little bit of gut problems, a little bit of this, right? Because it's really hard to have like a body that's perfectly homeostasis all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone's liver to a degree is not functioning at its best. Does that mean we all have to go and do a cleanse? No. There are so many things that I've been doing to help with my liver to help get out the extra copper I have, extra estrogen I have that are just like food things. Like I'm
Yeah.
eating more cruciferous vegetables, I'm eating fermented foods,
Yep.
lymphatic drainage. That's all going to help get these things out, give my liver some support. The coffee enemas, that's also helpful with it. So it's not like you have to do these crazy things. It's like I think maybe a couple years ago, even lymphatic drainage would be like, that's so woo-woo. I remember reading
Yeah.
stuff about like how to dry brushing, and I'm like, that's so dumb. And now I'm like dry brushing every day, right? Because
Yeah.
I think, especially as coaches, I think I am now more than ever. As we've been in different mentorship groups and learning from different other coaches and practitioners. I'm so open to everything because I don't know everything. I think the longer that we're
Yeah.
in this game, we're like, I realize the more I know, the more I don't know. And there's,
Hmm.
something that could be helping our body that we just aren't sure of yet. Like even like keto, like a couple years ago, I'm like, no, keto's useless. Now I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot of good uses for that. And it's just another tool in the toolbox, just like things are that sound woo-woo, like liver stuff, can
Yeah.
actually be really, really helpful for your body to function better.
100%. And I think a lot of it goes back to if we're previously thinking about these sorts of things and seeing women do it in the realm of fat loss.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
for fat loss or dry brushing because you're doing lymphatic drainage and it's going to get rid of all your excess water weight and you're going to lose all,
Mhm.
like it was all in the guides of do
Yeah.
this and you'll lose weight, where that doesn't really make sense. That's not a helpful tool, but from a like a holistic realm, when you're focusing on a lot of like internal healing, these tools can be super helpful. And I do agree that we
Mhm.
become more and more open to it because we're putting ourselves in different circles. We're seeing these things work for ourselves.
Yeah.
I I think when we can remove anything from like the realm of like this is for fat loss, and it's like, okay, that's not going to
Mhm.
work for fat loss, but like this could work for a lot of other things. It can
Mhm.
be super powerful because I remember this coach one time who I was like, I followed on Instagram. She was like, if you don't have abs, you are not healthy. And it was basically just saying, you don't want to have lot of extra fat on you. And these are all the things that I do. And one of the things that she had said was she does dry brushing. So from that moment, like however many years ago, it was maybe 5, 7,
Mhm.
I saw that and I was like, you are like so toxic. And dry brushing
Mhm.
is not going to help these women lose weight. And saying abs are the only like is the guides of being healthy is not helping these women.
Mhm.
And so now every time I think of dry brushing,
I think of that.
I think of her and then I put it in a way of like she she made it seem like it was the end all be all and
Yeah.
it was going to like give these women these results, and if you don't have abs then you are like, what's the point of like
Right.
living? Like the way she was talking about like these bodies, she's like, you're not healthy if you don't have abs. And it's like, whoa, like that's like the toxic shit that like we
Yeah.
continue to like work through
Well,
in this industry. But I love a good tool, like any tool that's going to help me feel better, like not fat loss wise, like maybe that is a goal, but I also want to feel better in just like my day-to-day life and like having more
mhm.
energy and like being able
Mhm.
to like poop good. Like let's talk
Yeah.
about that, like how many women are like not pooping and they're like,
Oh,
oh,
so
fine,
many. Well,
right?
we're gonna cover that with Alyssa, so that's gonna be a
Yeah,
good conversation to talk about
100%.
too. But yeah, I mean, like I always said, like all these things that I'm talking about and trying to heal from I don't want to call it fake autoimmune disease at this point. I'm like convinced, like it is like the cherry on top.
Yeah,
Like I am doing so many things, like food wise, lifestyle wise, lowering stress. Everything I'm doing now is because I am consistent with those things.
yeah,
I am so consistent with eating vegetables, drinking water, walking, exercising, keeping stress low. If I wasn't consistent with those things, I wouldn't be doing coffee enemas. I wouldn't be doing dry brushing. I wouldn't be doing whatever else I'm doing.
right.
And again, like you said, it's all under the guise of I'm trying to heal. I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not looking to lose the last 5 pounds. I'm not looking to, get more lean shredded. Like I'm trying to heal. So just like you said, keep it under like what is the point of this? If
yeah,
you want to lose weight, don't follow my protocol for trying to heal from autoimmune, right? It's just the
right.
cherry on top things. And just like, with if you want to lose weight, stick to the things, get consistent at those things before you start
Yeah,
worrying about everything else. Because that they're not going to do
right.
anything.
Right. And what you said, I'm consistent with eating vegetables, walking, drinking water, getting in protein, like having balanced meals, keeping an eye on my
Mhm.
blood sugar levels. If you're not
Mhm.
doing those things, you have no business being concerned about all
Mhm.
of this like fancy stuff up here
Mhm.
because it's not going to
100%.
do anything. So I always try to keep things so simple and so basic at first because that's really what you're going to see change with. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
fun and exciting to like look into
Yeah.
different things and you're like, "Oh wow, like maybe that would be the thing that would work." When in reality, you just got to get fucking consistent first.
Yeah.
See some things happen and then you might be able to get curious about the other, I don't know, other tools that you might be seeing people use
Yeah.
online. But God
Yeah.
damn. It's like there's so much shit that I just like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like people, let's just focus on like eating a vegetable and then
Yeah.
maybe like we can have a conversation.
Yeah,
But
you can get to that stuff when you're consistent first and
yeah.
doing really well, just the bare minimum, and then don't, I think that's how we get overwhelmed too. Like, I want to be
Oh,
doing all this
100.
stuff, and then you put all these expectations on yourself to be doing all these things, but you're like struggling to do all of them, so then you're disappointed, then you're frustrated, then you give up. It's just like that
Yeah.
chronic cycle of like trying to do too many things at once when you can't do just the bare minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Anything else happened fun for you this past week?
Um, I like don't even know. I had like a moment which I think is really important talking like about stress management and mental health like as
Mhm,
we're recording this it was yesterday. Um
mhm,
something just fucking flipped a switch in my brain. Like I
mhm,
had a call with a person with a conversation with a person, and it was just like now I am overwhelmed. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. Like
mhm.
I was the human embodiment of like a beast. I was like I'm so dysregulated.
Uh-huh.
James comes home from work and I'm like, I love you. I don't want to talk to you right now because I am in such a bad mood. Like this happened. And so I just need some time by myself. And everything was fucking just like getting under my skin. And so
Love
it was
that.
good. It was interesting to think about because I was like, oh my God, like the old me, like 3 years ago would say, even though like my anxiety was bad at that point, I'd be like, I'm just gonna have a glass of wine because I just, you know what, fuck it, and I don't care, and I can fit it in my macros, and it's fine, but whatever. That's not the best way to work through stress, right? Even if it fits in your macros and you're trying to lose fat, having a drink when you are stressed is not going to actually help anything. And we know
Right.
that to a degree, but we would like to pretend and like kid ourselves. So yesterday I was like, I want to fucking kill everybody. So, I'm just going to clean my closet a little bit. I'm going to make dinner. I'm going to have some water. I'm going to have a Diet Coke, and I'm just going to sit in bed and just like breathe and
Love it.
be unbothered. And then a couple hours later, I was like, okay, we didn't we didn't self-sabotage in relationships. We didn't self-sabotage diet. We didn't do things that were not helping us. And it's just like I think it's an important reminder that like you're gonna have those days where something is going to just try and test you almost. And even
Mhm,
with being on like in a fat loss phase right now, I could have easily just been like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm going to eat my feelings. I'm going to have a glass of wine, or I'm just going
mhm,
to go to bed and not have anything at all because I'm so pissed off. And it was like, okay,
mhm.
center yourself for a minute and like understand why you have been triggered, but then also what can you do that's actually going to benefit you? What's going to help a little bit? And so I was I was in that mode and of like, okay, we are doing these things even though we don't want to, but I know it's good for me. And like, you get to feel proud of yourself for doing it. And is anybody going to give you like a gold star? No, but you can give yourself the goddamn gold
Yeah.
star. And so it was a very good exercise in mitigating that stress that for some reason just it was overwhelming yesterday. And I don't know. We all have those days and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a crazy stressful thing, but it's just like it's that one thing that kind of pushes you for some reason. So I was like
Yep.
box breathing, trying to maneuver this. I was like, God
That's
damn.
good. No,
It
and
was good.
I think it's such a good example for, people listening is that, you could have went, you were at a Y, the two roads. Go down
Yep.
the road of eating or drinking your feelings and coping that way, or go down the road of, okay, I'm going to pull something out of my toolbox, right?
Mm,
Use that and go on with my day and not like self sabotage in a way. And I think, for a lot of people, that's hard to make that decision. But the
yeah.
more often you make that decision and use the tools you have in your toolbox, the easier it will be to respond that way. It's a
Yep.
muscle. You have to keep working it over and over. Just like for people that, when you have clients that are having trouble where they can't stop eating and they're binging constantly and, they're just struggling with snacking, it's like asking, like, what am I feeling right now?
Yep.
When you're going to do that, it's like, why am I feeling this way? Like, okay, something happened. I'm reaching for something else. Just like for myself, when I feel dysregulated or get overwhelmed, I just go to scroll. Like that would
Yep,
be my
yep,
thing, is just scroll and like numb myself.
yeah,
And I haven't been doing that as much. And I've been doing, I'm okay, I'm just going to redirect myself and do something else. And that's a hard habit to break. I
yeah,
mean, even me bringing the habit of scrolling before I go to bed and as soon as I wake up, that has been a hard habit to break. Have I broken it? Yes, because I haven't done it, but I still sit there. I'm like, I want to scroll, and then I
yeah,
don't do it. I'm like fighting the urge to like grab my, I literally
yeah,
pull myself back from grabbing my phone. But, it's still something I have to continually work on. It gets easier every time I don't do it. So
yeah,
just, having that awareness, right? Because if we were totally unaware, if you were totally unaware, you could be like, oh, fuck it. This day was shit. And then just go and grab a
yeah.
bottle of wine, pour
Pour the
yourself.
biggest glass of wine. You're like, I'm just gonna sit down, have this
Yep.
wine by myself.
Yep.
2 glasses of wine later, you're like reaching for stuff in the pantry. You're like
Yep.
feeling like a bottomless pit. You wake up the next day, you don't feel great. You feel like there's a rock in my
Hmm.
stomach. I have a little bit of a headache. Now I'm going to continue to make decisions based on how I feel
Hmm.
because I'm feeling like
Hmm.
shit. I don't feel good. All right, I'm just going to grab maybe some fast food on the way to work and grab my
Yeah.
coffee and just like not
Yeah.
drink water all day. And like these things
It.
just continue. So, yeah, break and like even when you know better, it's so much easier sometimes to want to default to the easier thing, but you're like, no, you know what? That is a temporary good feeling. What really is
Yeah.
the good feeling is like making the choices that are going to help me feel better tomorrow and like pulling the
Hmm.
tools out of my toolbox. So,
Like
yeah, we are
thinking
just,
about. Go ahead.
no, you go.
We're just what?
I don't know. We're just trying our best every day. Like even as coaches, like
Yeah.
there's just this uh feeling of like you guys are superhuman, and it's like, well, we know the things. We make ourselves do the things because we know it's going to help us, but it's still that
Mhm.
choice to make the good decisions. Like you're still could easily fall back into
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, I could fall back into scrolling mindlessly. I mean, that's an easy thing to fall back into because it's fun.
totally. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
exhilarating. And I'm laughing. I was gonna say something, but it just totally escaped out of my mind. But yeah, I think it's just becoming aware and getting better at that. Now I'm realizing it's the last episode of the month. Do you have any big wins from the past month?
Yeah, so because it's only technically May 10th as we're recording this, but I do think I am keeping the intention that I originally set, right? When we recorded the first of the month episode,
Mhm.
we were talking about what we were going to do, what we were going to kind of focus on. And for me,
Mhm.
it was focusing on pushing myself in ways with my agoraphobia, but
Mhm.
also kind of like dipping my foot into the pit of snakes and not jumping into the pit of snakes.
Ooh.
And I feel I have been doing more and more to expose myself and the anxiety around doing out of the norm activities has lessened. And
Mm.
I feel a lot of it has to do with just being confident in myself and knowing that I am the head of decision making, right?
Mhm.
And that's all that I have to focus on. If I decide that something is not actually going to work for me in that moment, then I get to change that.
Mm.
And it's more about working around the feelings of what are people going to think and like that people pleaser aspect, like, oh, are
Mm.
they going to judge me, are they going to think I'm weird, am I going to be an inconvenience, um because the reality is like at the drop of a hat I might be so goddamn dysregulated and like have a panic attack, and really it's not for any particular reason, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So there is a lot of like judgment feelings around that, but I feel that I have been doing such a better job at being kind to myself and like removing judgment. And then also like towing the line of what can I do and what feels Like it was once challenging and now it's really easy. And yeah, and as I'm like going into like my 27th year around
Mhm.
the sun, I am
Mhm.
bringing this like feeling of abundance and like
Mm.
leaving behind judgment.
I like that. And for what Ali said, she's a recovering people pleaser. The amount of times this girl messaged me and be like, "Look, listen to what I did." I'm like, "Yes!" Like hyping her up
Yeah.
for not being a people
Yeah.
pleaser, you know?
Literally.
Um, literally so many times. That's good. That sounds like you're really moving in the right direction. And I
Yeah.
like the metaphor of like, not jumping in, but I would say maybe not having snakes, maybe like water. Because I'm like, if you need to put your toe
Yeah.
into a pit of snakes.
I think because in my mind, it is scary, it is concerning, it
Mhm,
is real fear to me,
mhm.
even though it appears to be water for you, it appears to be snakes for me.
Ah,
So even
okay.
though for me to phrase it that way, it's not negative because I know
Mhm,
that this thing it's not actually going to hurt me. It
mhm,
appears that it's causing some uneasiness, it's frightening, but if I can slowly immerse myself into it, I'm going to see that it's not actually going to hurt me. And that takes
mhm,
a lot of time and energy. So like if you're also honestly, the more I talk about having agoraphobia online, the more goddamn people message me and they're like, "Oh my God, I have agoraphobia too." And I'm like, shout out because I feel alone sometimes because it sounds
mhm.
like low key like an old lady disease or a disorder, like an old lady disorder. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. It just like feels like really like an old thing. Like nobody talks about it.
yeah, I literally never heard about it until I was talking to you. And then
Yeah.
you talked about it, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, what is this?" That's the first time I heard of. I mean, talk
Yeah.
about old lady disease. My disease. They didn't believe I had it. I don't have it anyway. But because they're like, "You're too young," you know. If you look
Right.
up Humira, probably the average age is like 75.
Yeah, literally. Like, you know what though? We're out here and we are the representation for the young people.
I'm the fake one. I'm the fake
Yeah.
representation. The
Oh my
faker.
God. That is wild.
Uh,
That is
yeah.
so wild. But
Oh,
yeah,
I
I don't know.
good.
Yeah. No, no,
I
no.
was gonna I was gonna ask you what situations, if you're comfortable talking about
Yeah.
them, like maybe event wise or going somewhere, have you made yourself do to like, start testing the water more?
Yeah. And I always this this is where I have to work on not judging myself because
Mhm,
saying these things out loud even feels like I could roll my eyes and be like, really, that's not that hard. So
mhm.
I am in this moment, I am feeling judgment and I'm trying to not judge myself.
I'm not
But
judging you.
I know you're not, but I am like, geez, you loser. So we're not being a loser. This is the reality and this is what's happening.
Okay.
I don't love doing things outside of the house spontaneously. So I have been
Mm,
trying to be more spontaneous. So like I call
mhm,
James a couple of times and I'm like, oh, do you want to go out to dinner? Do you want to go to meet me at the store, whatever? And just
mhm,
trying to do things that disrupt the routine.
mhm,
Um, because that to me can be really like it can literally shake my world sometimes.
mm,
And then also this one sounds kind of funny as well, but like going to pick up things on Facebook Marketplace with James because my brain always goes to we're going to be murdered, there's going to be a crazy person, like this is could that we could die. And the reality is I'm with like a 6'4" man
right.
that and we're meeting like somebody in like the parking lot like we're there's no real signs of danger but my brain goes to this is a very unsafe situation so I try and put myself in positions where I am in control and I have to really work on reminding myself I am in control, even when it doesn't feel like it. So a lot of it, or like going to like Costco or BJ's on like a Saturday when it's
Mhm.
fucking crowded, that is like the bane of
Oh,
my existence. So I'm
me
trying,
too.
But I also am like, all right, like if we need to leave the cart, we'll leave the cart and that's okay. And like it's really not that big of a deal at the end of the day. So I'm trying to do things that are still trigger me a little bit because I need to be able to get over those things before I can go to that next level. And
Mhm.
even like when I was like within the first year of being diagnosed, like I was so scared to drive. My goal would be to walk from like I was like at my parents' house. I would like walk to the end of the street, but I would keep turning around so like I could see the house. And like that to me was like I was
Mhm.
terrified. I was like, "Oh my God, what if I get kidnapped? What if somebody throws me in a car?" I'm like, "Bitch, peace and love. The house is right there." But in that moment, it was so real. So I'm trying
Mhm.
to make my goals appropriate. Same like it always goes back to your fucking health and fitness goals. Make your goals appropriate, right? If you have
Yep.
100 pounds to lose, you're not going to do it in one diet.
Yep.
So break it up. So that's me. I am breaking it up. And for my um birthday, we are going, my friend's coming up tonight and we're going to this winery and then we might go out to this bar after. And I have not gone out in like so long. Like I will go out with James and we'll do stuff, but like being out, going somewhere, like having fun, being like
Mhm.
a being like a normal like 27-year-old like my friends, like I've not done that in a while. So I'm like, you know
Mhm.
what? This might be kind of fun to like do something. And
Mhm.
if we go for 20 minutes, then that's fine. And so I'm like seeing like, do I want, can I push myself to be social in that way? And part of me is like, yeah,
Mhm.
that sounds so fun. So that is like that's on the agenda for Allie. The rest of this year is like just continuously seeing what we can do.
That's good. I don't like I didn't listen to that and be like, "Oh, I'm judging her," you know? Because like honestly, a part of that, I'm like, "Do I have agoraphobia?" Like the socialness aspect,
Yeah.
that's so tough for me. Like my
Yeah.
sister is such a social butterfly, and ever since I've been here, she's like, "Let's go do this, let's go do that." We went to a bar. I was like, "Oh my God, it's 9. I want to be in bed." Like we
Yeah.
had such a fun time and
Yeah.
went to dinner and it's just like she truly something I really love about her and her husband what they do is that like they don't live for the weekend. They do stuff throughout the
Yeah.
week. And they still go to bed early and work out and very into their health, but they definitely live more than Joel and I do. We definitely like are more on the I live to work, not work to live, which is
Mm.
something like I really want to keep continue like not harboring, continue flourishing that muscle, getting
Yeah.
used to doing that. But it
Yeah.
sounds like your month went well.
It was good. Yeah. So far. So far, so good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think my intention was to be more present and enjoy
Yeah.
my time. And I'm taking my sister and her husband to the airport today for their vacation. So I was here for like a week and a half, little over a week and a half before they are going on vacation. And we had a lot of fun. And like I said, like they just do so much stuff and have fun all the time. And I'm like, why am I not doing that? Like I'm
Yeah.
working too much. Like and I think it's hard, like as being small business owners, is just like there's always something else to do with your business. Like I could work
Yeah.
on this, I could work on that, I can make this content, I could do that. And it's like, okay, but when am I living?
Yeah.
Like her husband asked him like, when's the last time we went to a bar? I couldn't tell you, and I don't drink, so that's like part of it too.
Right. Yeah, that also is like maybe not the best question because I mean,
Yeah.
if people were like, "Oh, like you want to come meet us at the bar?" Like would you go for like, a mocktail moment or like like a sparkling water? Like would that be something that fills your cup or is that like, I'd rather do something else?
I would rather do something else.
Yeah.
But like being with my sister, I haven't laughed this much and I don't know how long. I know her
Yeah.
husband is like literally dying at us because we'll say one thing and then be like like
Yeah,
dying,
literally.
like we are insane together, which is fun because I haven't seen her since, I went to Mexico.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I would meet someone like to go, have them. I wouldn't
Yeah.
drink a mocktail because I'm like sugar and I don't need to drink sugar. Yeah. Diet Coke, Diet Pop. Yeah, I would do that
Yeah.
because,
You
we
say
live for
diet
that.
pop?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Diet pop?
What do you mean? Pop?
Pop,
It says, oh, yeah, I say pop, not soda. You say soda?
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
A diet sody. Yeah, no. I think
Pop.
it's I love that. That's so funny. Pop. Um, yeah, but I agree with the sentiment that we both could probably do better with doing more just like stuff that is fun. Getting like
Hmm.
doing stuff that shakes up the routine.
Oh my God. Like we went to a yoga class and I was like, and
Oh,
then my mind is like, I'm like, ooh, content. Like I had a good idea for something. I went to a sound bath class last night. It
yeah.
was amazing. I messaged the girl and I'm like, that was such a good class. I love a sound bath. Like, hit me with a sound bath. I'm crying. I am
Oh,
vibrating. I am like, I'm looking up more. I'm like, where can I? I'm like, there's probably so many sound baths in Colorado because they're all hippies up here. So I'm like, very
yeah.
crunchy people. I'm like, perfect. But yeah, really just living more, being present, having fun. Life is not all about work, and just really trying to do that because that's only going to help me heal too, which is great.
Right.
And why at the end of the day, like, why am I working so hard if I'm not enjoying life? And that's, I think, what pulls me to travel is because it gets me out of the routine of working
Mm-hmm.
all day, being on my computer all day, being on my phone, not making up, but finding reasons not to go and have fun.
Yeah.
And traveling forces me to do that. And it's nice I can be with my sister, and she's going to be gone for their vacation and come back, and we'll have like a half week or so for when she comes back. We can still hang out, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just gonna continue because I'm still gonna be here for a while. Continue being present. Like I'm gonna go to a farmer's market by myself with
Ugh,
Bird, her dog.
love.
I know, I'm excited. There's so many everything is dog friendly. I'm gonna go to a thrift store. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff while I'm here, but like honestly, there's like no reason to leave the apartment because besides like if I had any groceries, because on this
Me. Literally me.
I know. On the fifth floor, it's like a coffee shop essentially,
Oh.
and they have free coffee. So I go downstairs, the fifth floor, get my coffee, go work out. The sauna room is broken right now, but hopefully it's getting fixed. I can use the sauna, and
Mm,
there's a hot tub. The pool is getting fixed, so hopefully it'll be done, but before I leave. But like the only thing it's missing is like a grocery store, but it's not
yeah.
that far. They have a
Yeah.
car, so I can go anywhere. The park is down the road. It's so convenient.
I love.
So if you ask me if I'm going to move here, the answer is yes. But yeah, so that's
Honestly,
kind of
you're living, and you
I'm
needed
living.
that.
Oh yeah, I feel like I really need the R and R, the
Yeah.
R and R,
R&R. I need the R&R.
literally. Um, are we ever going to get into our topic?
Yeah. 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 Perfect.
Maybe.
Segue.
Okay. Well, okay. Because how long have we been going already? A while, I feel like.
About 52 minutes. Give or take. Maybe 45 minutes.
I have something else we could talk about because I feel like it's the end of the month. Maybe we should push this because it's kind of a
Yeah.
two-parter. We could push this for like our deep dive for June. For
Perfect. Yes.
that'd be a good idea.
Okay. So, what did you want to jump into?
Um, two things really quick.
Yeah.
One, so did a couple polls asking people like what length of podcast they'd like to listen to, and I just think neither of us will be able to do short podcasts because like 20
No.
minutes in, we're not hitting any of the good stuff yet. We're just like chit
A-
chatting.
And that's the thing. If you're listening to a 20-minute podcast, there is no, in my opinion, room for conversing or
Yes.
personality.
Oh, hit him with it. Right. Like I but I have to say it. Like I personally like podcasts where like know
I
their
have to
deep
say
dark stuff.
it. Yes, I need to
I,
know everything.
yes, and I just feel like if this was just health information, we were going to talk about protein powders, what stuff to avoid in them. But like we got talking on like you're getting other things like Allie's, healing with agoraphobia, us talking about, healing the gut, healing this, healing that. Like I think it would just be so boring if we're like, here's what to avoid in a protein powder. That's like so boring. We can like fucking Google that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm even. myself. I don't want to listen to podcasts that
No,
are like that. Like, I will
no.
put myself into mentorships and containers where I'm learning. And to
Yep.
me, like, if it's a voice note, I'm like, perfect. This is great for me. Like, it feels like a podcast, but I'm like, this
Yeah.
is the shit I want. I don't want to like
Yeah.
tune in to like a weekly, like 20-minute shindig. I'm like, oh, it's boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah. Now, however, like there was a couple times where like there's a really good podcast episode about cholesterol I listened to.
Mm,
Like when I go in with an intention of I want to learn, I will
yeah.
listen to it. But I am not reaching all the time. I'm listening. I want to listen to banter and fun stuff.
Mm,
So like if you ever want to request a short podcast, we will never do one because like it's just too hard. Like I want to have
yeah.
fun, shoot the shit, talk about stuff with you, be real. Like everyone,
Yeah.
I crave realness. I think everyone can agree with that.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to be real, then we couldn't talk. We couldn't have a short episode. There would be no
No,
space.
there'd be no space. I can't be real in 20 minutes.
No, 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 no. Yeah, that was my just wanted to my disclaimer.
No, and I appreciate that because there are some people like myself. I will listen to a 3.5 hour podcast and like this one show I listen to, it's 3.5 hours 4 days a week. Now, do I listen
Wow.
to the 3.5 hours every day? No. Sometimes it's like half, or sometimes I break it up, but I don't care. I want the content. I want the parasocial relationship. Okay, that's what
Hmm.
I'm here for. I'm
Hmm.
not so interested in let me check the boxes off. Okay, listen to this podcast. What's my next one? I just like I'm here for the intimate moments in a podcast.
I agree. And that's where you learn fun stuff, or, like how many times where I listen to something and it's like I didn't intend to learn about something, but then you learn about
Yeah,
something, you're like, oh, that's cool, and it's more fun. I think it's easier to absorb. So I just
totally.
thought, yeah. There was something I do really want to hit on is we're gonna keep proteins powder stuff
Yeah.
to next episode. But so I think I talked about this a little bit, how this is like the first time I've been back in a public gym because I work out
No,
like in
yeah,
my
yeah,
home
yeah.
gym. And it's kind of funny. Like I'm noticing a trend, like watching people, and like disclaimer, like people aren't watching you when you're in the gym, but I am kind of watching people, I think, kind of on purpose, just to kind of see what they're doing. But I'm noticing a trend. And I don't like to sit here and judge people for what they're doing in the gym. However, I think for a lot of, even myself, guilty. I am guilty. My husband, Joel, he was guilty. So, personal experience. He was the type where he went into the gym and just worked upper body, literally like just
Mm,
worked upper body. Okay. I was the type where I went to the gym. What did I do? I think at the time when I was going to the gym, like having like a big butt wasn't like popular yet.
yeah.
Like cardio and core. That's like what we do.
Literally,
That's what.
literally.
And now it's funny because like I'm noticing there's a lot of guys like really just working upper body. I could be catching them on their upper body day, and a
True.
lot of girls just doing glutes and core. I'm like, how funny is that now? It's in cardio, like just
Yep.
glutes and core. And again, I could be catching them on an off day, but I'm noticing a lot of
It's an
that.
observation.
Yeah, it's an observation. I'm not judging them. I'm just like curious. As a health and fitness coach, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
they could really use a more
Yeah,
well-rounded
we're
program.
always we're always noticing things. Like that's the difference between like most people at the gym and then like people in this space, right? We're noticing,
Yes.
it's not judging. It's just like, oh, I'm curious. Like what are you like I'm kind of seeing what you're doing as I'm taking my
Hmm.
rest break. What like I'm just kind of,
Hmm.
it's just kind of it's second nature to us. So,
Yes, yes. So I'm noticing these things, but I'm like, it's kind of funny how we still have these trends of where, we're just doing things for because they want just want guys just want to get a bigger upper
yeah.
body. And they tend to avoid a lot of lower body stuff because it's harder, it takes more energy, and it's not getting the muscles they want to get bigger. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of science that shows when you're doing lower body movements, right? And you're holding the weight, let's say like a back squat and the bars on your back, what other muscles have to support that? Your upper body, your
Yeah.
core, your arms. So if you want to build whatever muscle, odds are working the other body parts are going to help because they're supporting muscles. And just like a lot of girls, like there was this one girl that maybe I think I followed, and she really just worked lower body. And I'm like, that's kind of disproportionate, but that's what
Yeah.
she wanted to work. But you could still build some lower body things doing some upper body movements because they're
Yeah.
supporting muscles. I'm like, if you want to get a smaller waist, guess what? Yes, building your glutes is going to help.
But
Building your
also,
Yes, build it. Yeah, but also building your upper body, getting that
yup.
V shape in your back. I feel like I have built the illusion of having a smaller waist by literally building my glutes and building my back. I don't have like
Yeah.
my waist is
Yeah.
naturally like wider, but having those bigger muscle groups definitely helps in creating that illusion.
Yeah. And that's the reality is most people don't have these like tiny, tiny waists and big boobs and big butts. Like there are some women out there that like, I'm sorry, you're the favorite, okay? Your body just is like the way that it is. It's like I kind of want that. Like the smaller
Mhm,
waist, you got the nice butt, and you're eating like fucking Cheetos all day long. Some people,
mhm,
they just got it. They got it good.
mhm.
For the majority of people, right? We have to do things that is going to help us reach that goal. Now, can we go into the gym and like trim up the waist a little bit? No, if your body is built a certain way, no amount of fucking like wearing the sweat waist trainer thing is going to help you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what does help you is training and focusing on a plan that is actually built for your goals. And when we're training upper body, we're training back, we're training lower body, we're being consistent. You're going to start to see that hourglass shape that you're like, oh shit, like I am looking good. Um, but a lot of the times it's like I don't want to get bulky. Like I'm afraid to lift heavier. Like what if I hurt myself?
Mhm,
I can't do it. And the reality is
mhm.
you're carrying your groceries in one take. Like I know you are. Like I got the bags on bags. I'm not making a second trip. So if you can do that, you can lift more
Mhm.
weight than you think you can.
Oh, 100%. And it just comes down to like learning proper form and,
Yep.
not rushing things. Like the
Not
amount of
rushing.
times
Mm.
I would have avoided getting injured, like with deadlifting, is like if I would have like just spent more time under tension. And like that's
Yep.
where you build muscle, is like doing things slow. Like I'm in a tempo phase right now. Let me tell you, push
Woo.
ups with a 4-second descend, holding for two, 4-second ascend. I feel every fiber of my arms working. I'm like shaking the whole time through. And I'm on
You're
an incline.
burning. Yeah, you're
I'm
burning.
burning. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not on the floor. I'm on an incline and I feel everything, right? And that makes it
Yep.
having that, taking your time, of course, like the stuff you learn over time. I
Yeah.
mean, if you jump into mine or Allie's membership, you're going to learn how to lift. Might
You're
start
like,
to lift for sure.
plug.
Plug, you will learn how to lift to start to lift. But
Yeah.
that it's so easy to fall into those traps when you are just unaware of what to do in the gym, like Pinterest or following your favorite fitness
Yep.
influencer, whoever. But working your whole body is going to help you grow the muscles you want to grow and create that shape you want. And waist trainers, they're not working long term to create the shape you want. If you want to look a certain way, you can't run your way there. You can't just sweat your way there. You have to
Hmm.
build the shape that you want.
Yeah. And that's
And that's
honestly
on that.
the yeah, that's on that. But that's the biggest problem that we often see with clients is that they are doing cardio or they are working out in the gym. They're lifting weights, but they are not exactly sure what they're doing. They're not feeling super confident. They're getting overwhelmed. And that
Mhm.
creates the biggest disaster. Like you're never going to see the results that you want when you're overwhelmed, you're confused, you're like, I feel so goddamn anxious. I don't actually know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to hit the cardio, right?
Mhm.
But what we do, and we do it really well, is because we weren't born like weightlifting and being really confident. Like we
No.
had to learn our way through that. And that's something that we really like focus on. And everybody belongs in the gym. Everybody has to start somewhere. And you don't have to go into it like feeling foolish or feeling stupid. Like you don't have to
Mhm.
just go on Pinterest and like hope for the best. You can actually work with us in ways that teach you what to do in the gym because that's your biggest barrier. I always say this to clients, to people, whenever it comes to like nutrition or exercise or anything, like pick any random thing. You're not going to do it if you have no idea how to do it.
Yep.
So you have two options: either stay not doing it or find a way, learn how to do it. And oftentimes that means hiring someone for support. Like, I don't do my own fucking taxes because that I don't want to learn how to do that. So I have somebody to help me with that, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, that's my biggest thing. Like, as an adult, I will die on this hill. You need help. You need to keep learning. You need to
Hmm.
always have teachers because what the
Hmm.
fuck? We go to school for how many years of our lives and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, don't need help anymore."
Oh, 100%. Or I recently had someone tell me, oh, my daughter's helping me.
Uh,
Okay. Which, I'm not opposed to if you have a daughter that knows something about fitness. But if we're being totally honest, is she giving you a program that actually meets your needs as a total freaking beginner, someone who's never lifted a
yep,
weight? Does she know how to teach you how to move properly? Does she know how to teach you like what movements you should be doing, what weight to use? So many people don't know what weight to use because they don't know how to
yep,
move their body. I mean, of course, at the end of the day, it's kind of just an excuse to tell me because you don't want to do
yeah,
something. But get a program. Like,
yeah.
done are the days of I'm just going to get my friend who knows kind of what they're doing. No,
No.
no, that person doesn't know what they're doing. Let's be
Can
totally
your
honest.
friend be objective?
No, they
No.
cannot. No.
No. If you are, I'm sorry, if you're dragging ass and you haven't hit your workouts for a month, right? You had a goal to start at least 2 times a week for the
Hmm.
first month and you haven't done any of it, is your friend going to say, "Hey, I love you so much, but I have to be honest with you. You are not
Hmm.
showing up to the commitment that you made."
Hmm.
Okay? Your friend's not going to
Hmm.
do that. Your friend's going to be like,
No.
not my problem. Like, whatever. They can do whatever
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, your friends cannot be objective. Your family cannot be objective. We can be objective.
Yes. And even like not to get in a whole other topic, but I have a client who's on like a short term, like a starter package, and she was getting told me she was getting frustrated because when she doesn't see the scale moving in the direction she wants, she's
Yeah,
like, I'm kind of like, ugh, like why nothing matters. And I said, if I'm gonna be totally honest, right now we don't have the credibility to get frustrated because we're not consistent. If you were putting
yes.
in all the work, doing all the steps, eating all the protein, getting your workouts and doing, then I would say, yeah, it's okay to be frustrated. But
Hell yeah.
if I'm being honest, we're not even at that level to get frustrated yet.
That is
And
such a
that is,
slay.
and I don't, this is all comes from love, right? Because this person hired me to help them reach their goals. I take the emotion out of it.
Yep.
If a coach told me that, I'd be like, damn, she's right. I need to be consistent and then I can get mad I'm not seeing
Yep.
the result I want. But until we are being consistent, we can only get mad at ourselves. Okay, let's get curious. Why am I not being consistent? What am I not doing? What am I not prioritizing? What am I letting make me so frustrated? I just give up on everything, right? Taking those expectations away. Maybe it's like I need to see weight loss by this week
Mm.
when we need to build the foundation first. So just some things to
Mm-hmm.
think about. Like this is why people hire coaches because
Yeah.
we take the emotion out of things. We tell you what you need to do. We help you with the plan, but then we hold you accountable to
Yeah.
said plan.
Yeah. Because again, like you said, you can Google anything, right?
Hmm.
You can literally, I saw TikTok the other day and it was like, this is awesome. Like, you can literally go into Chat GPT and have it write a training plan for you and a nutrition plan for you. Okay, great. I have no idea how good that information would be, but let's just say it's good information. These things cannot be there to check in with you and hold you accountable and to track your progress and to
Hmm.
support you in your human moments because you didn't gain weight from just being lazy, right? Like most of the
Hmm.
time, it's something bigger. or
Mhm.
it's something from childhood, you've had some traumatic experience. Like there are so many reasons, there are layers, and we don't come with judgment. I gained fucking 30 pounds in 3 months. Like I I have no position to judge people, and I never would. And
Mhm.
so you can't just Google a how-to plan with then not having any level of support, because even if you
Mhm.
have 3 weeks that are fucking phenomenal, you feel on top of the world, that fourth week might not be so great. And what are you going to do? If you don't have somebody to hold you accountable, somebody to just check in with, somebody to have
Mhm.
support, somebody to help you navigate,
Mhm.
you're going
Mhm.
to just fucking flounder, because those plans you're Googling, they don't have a backup plan. Oh, what if I'm
No.
having a really bad mental health day and my anxiety is crazy and I just got into a fight with my boyfriend and blah 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 blah. It's like the computer's gonna be like, I cannot help you with that.
And even, like, they're not taking into account of, like, your history, right?
Also,
I
yes,
like, so much of, like, where what you've been eating for years, what do you have any, hormone issues, all these things, like thyroid things, like, they're not taking into
injuries or yeah,
yeah, they're not taking into account of any of that stuff, so it's like, this could be a good starting point for you, but it's not like this is not the only set of macros you need or the only workout you need or things like that, like,
yeah.
if you're super busy, right, you could be doing more damage to yourself. This is a question I had in the membership was like,
Ooh,
I might
good,
start
good,
to what?
I'm excited for a good question.
Oh, a question I had was like, hey, like I had a crazy busy day. I didn't get home till 10:30. Like, what do I do? Like, how do I do my workout still?
Mm,
And if you have that much stress in your day and you're getting home at 10:30 and then trying to fit a workout in, it's going to do more harm than good. We got to
mm,
find a different day to get the workout in when you're not already like wired from the whole day.
yep,
And working out right before you sleep is going to raise your body temperature and make it harder for you to fall asleep. So you might even wake up more
yeah.
groggy the next day. So a calculator, a chat GPT, whatever is not going to help you understand these things.
No, and I like to view it in kind of like a masculine way versus a feminine way, right? In a
Mhm.
masculine way, Googling a plan, getting random macros and calories online and going through it, like that is very just like masculine. We're doing the things.
Cut and
And
dry.
we need both masculine and feminine energy to like come together and to like really, I believe, have the most like successful thought out plan and strategy and
Mhm.
whatnot. The feminine energy comes in where like needing that support and that care and a cheerleader. Um, and some people are just really like black and white about it. And they're like, I don't want support. I don't need support. I'm very independent. I'm very type A. And it's like, and okay, like
That's me.
you can be all those things and like still have a fucking bad day
Yeah.
and need support. And like you said, there's such a misconception of like more is better, right? More is not
Oh my
always better.
god.
So you're
Yeah.
saying that question in your membership, getting home at 10:30, oh, let me try and squeeze in the workout. In that situation, more is not better, right? Going to bed is better. Getting some food in your
Yep.
system, like drinking some water. And I had kind of a similar question in my membership. One of my clients was like, "Oh, I'm getting in 4 workouts a week, but on the days that I'm working, I'm hitting like 12,000 steps, but I'm not getting in workouts." And I'm like, let's work through that, because you're doing a lot of work. Like, what part of that makes you feel as if you're not doing enough? And
Mhm.
our brain is just like fat loss, more. Weight loss,
Mhm.
more. Need the scale to go
Mhm.
down, so I need to do more. And like you
Mhm.
said, that might be, kind of shooting yourself in the foot sometimes.
Oh yeah, and a great testament to this is like the previous program I was doing before working with my coach now, like my workouts were anywhere from like at least an hour to an hour and a half. Okay.
Mm,
Now my workouts are literally like cut in half and
yeah.
I'm getting better results.
Mm-hmm.
More is not the answer. It's doing something, whether it's more specified for your goals, taking like my workouts have slowed down so much. I can
Yeah.
tell my muscle development is like has been increasing more, like in my shoulders and my arms. I've always had like noodle appendages, and now they're finally like filling up. I'm like, thank God, I don't like SpongeBob anymore. But and then I can tell just like I'm being more mindful when I'm moving. My
Mm.
my pains have like my back pain has like been going down so much more. If you guys remember from I don't remember what episode number it was with Dr. Kelsey, we talked about my back
Oh
pain
yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
that was like in January. That was in January. And it's like not, I wouldn't say non existent, but it's like 90%, at least 80% down, I would say,
Yeah.
from where it was back and then. And my results are better. I'm doing
Yeah.
less because I'm on a better plan for my goals specifically. And that's not to say it has to be something exactly for you, but it needs to be a well thought out program.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff we find online is not. It's very heavy on the accessories, meaning glute kicks, glute that,
Yeah.
bands,
Yeah.
and if you're only having so much time to work out, not to like get into a whole nother thing, but just like making sure it's a program that is well rounded, makes
Yep.
sense for you. If you only have half an hour to work out, don't do something that's like an hour to work out. Do make sense for your
Right.
body and your time.
Because if we find ourselves in the pattern of, I realistically only have 45 minutes to work out, but I'm going to try and get this hour and 15-minute workout in, at some
Mhm.
point you're going to stop. You're just
And
going
you're
to, I
gonna
don't have
rush
time
it.
for it. I'm
Yeah.
rushing it, or I don't have time for it today. And that turns into
Mhm.
2 days. And then the next week and the week after, I don't have time for this. Okay. Well, if we
Mhm.
don't have time for this, then let's just be a little bit more thorough. If you don't have
Mhm.
time for a given plan, then that's not the plan for you. You need to kind of peel back the layers, and that's a lot of what we do, right? It's about listening to people's needs, but then also telling them, okay, this is what you want, this is what you're committing to, this is what we need to keep in mind. This is what we should actually do with that, right? We don't need to worry about, doing 20 sets of like glute kickbacks. Let's actually like get some hip thrusts going. Like
Yeah, it's
let's
not gonna yeah, it's like what's more bang for your buck, right?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is it. That is it.
yeah, yeah. No, I 100% agree. Yeah. Before we keep going on like for 10,000 years, is there anything you want to close out with?
Did that chair move?
What share?
The one behind you?
Oh my God, it gave me a heart attack. When I came in, I forgot. I think it must have I did
It
this.
rolled.
Well,
Yeah.
I literally, Allie, you almost like, you know how jumpy I am. That was not helpful for my jumpiness.
Would it have been worse if you just looked over and it was there?
It just scared me when we said, "Did
I
that chair
apologize.
move?" It's
It
okay.
looked well, I was like, like what is like I just
It
like it was
it
starting to
just
creep in.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the airflow in
Yeah.
here
No, I
probably.
get yeah, no, it's like it's all good, but I was a little weirded out myself. I was like, what is that?
Oh, my
um
brain.
my brain too. I feel that going into this next month, right? Going into June, I
Mhm.
want you all to commit to your fucking selves, right?
Mhm.
We have talked since we put this
Ad
podcast
nauseum.
out about fucking committing to ourselves. We just talked about all the things that we wanted to do in May and what we've accomplished and like what intentions we have set. And
Mhm.
I can genuinely say that as we're recording this, we're like halfway through the month, but I am feeling like I'm in such a good fucking place. And it's because I have been
Mm.
so goddamn intentional. And
Yep.
I
Yep.
wake up and I am committed to what I'm doing. And that's a lot of what you need to do. And so
Yep.
I have a couple ways right now going into June of like actually committing to your goals, like
Love.
literally showing up for yourself because all of you are like, I want to lose weight. I need to be motivated. And I hear you, but we actually need to put like pen to paper, as I'm always like saying with my clients. So the membership right now, Nourish Her, as you guys are listening to this episode, it will be the last day to get in for $33. After that, it's going up to 47. And it's a fucking fun ass place to be. Like if you like to hear me talk, that's a place where I talk a lot. And we're going to be focusing again in the month of June. We're working on a program. It's called Fast Lane to Fat Loss. It's not about losing 10 pounds in a week, but it's about learning how to lose weight efficiently and keeping it off because it's nobody's jam to like work really hard to lose weight and then gain it all
Mhm.
back. So that is
Mhm.
one thing that we're going to be doing, and I want you all in there. It's a fun place to be for the anxious girlies who have tried to lose weight and they feel like they've hit a wall. This is your place. This is your home.
Love that. That's exciting. What do
What do you got?
what was I gonna say? Oh, two things that are not gonna get you to your goals. Let me repeat that.
Yep.
Two things that are not going to get you to your goals. Hoping your way there, hoping your way there,
Love
and
it.
just I'm trying. I'm trying. If
Yes.
I fucking hear
Yes.
you're trying, no, it's not trying.
Yeah.
Doing
Do,
people.
do.
Sometimes I'm like not this like you know like oh, but sometimes I'm like afraid of hurting people's feelings. So like right now I'm just like on a rampage. Don't know why, but
Yeah.
I think
Love.
hoping your way there. I didn't hope my way into using my phone less. No,
No.
I deliberately stopped using my phone when I was going. I there was no lay down and scroll. None of that. Wake up and scroll. None of that. I have been actively not doing it. That's how you accomplish things, not by hoping and not by just trying. You do things. And if
Mm,
you're like, I don't know what to do, that's when you work with someone. That is when you
yes.
hire us for our expertise to make the shit happen and not just hope your way there because hoping ain't getting shit done. Point blank.
No. Yeah. I love that.
What Thank you. This is a stern conversation at the end of the month. Oh, what I have going on? A free push-up challenge. Listen,
Oh.
I did push-ups the other day in my stories. I was like, damn, I haven't done floor push-ups in so long. I've been doing incline. And I just saw this poor woman, love her that she was working on push-ups, but I wanted to help her so bad, but I was not going to just put myself onto someone
Yeah.
who's not asking for help. So I let her continue to do her shitty push-ups because I didn't want to intrude in her space. We're gonna get push-ups. I don't care if you literally have never done a push-up in your life. I don't care if you are like push-ups hurt my shoulders. I'm gonna show you how to fix them. It's a 2 week free challenge. It starts. I think it starts like in a couple days when this comes out. I will put the link in the show notes. It's completely free. There's gonna be lots of prizes out of it, so you're gonna want to join.
Mm.
Doesn't matter how old you are. You can be ancient. I don't care. Push-ups are great for your body. If you fall down and can't get up off the floor, guess what? You need to learn how to do a push-up in some capacity. So push-up challenge is starting soon. I'll put the link below.
Shout out.
Shout out to push-ups. We're getting push-ups. We are going to be able to take care of ourselves no matter our age. Love that.
Mm. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share us with your girlfriend who needs to hear this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere where you stream podcasts. If you have a burning question about life, friendships, health, and 1 or 2 cents, email us at kindahotpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPOD@gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.